Hello, everybody from Santa Barbara, California. Technically, Nolita or Goleta, California. Just finishing my lunch here, and I'm going to wait for some more people to show up, and we'll get started in I don't know, 5-10 minutes, absolute maximum. And yeah, enjoy the article, or at least the title. We'll be talking about this in a little bit here. As my target one, I can't show. I'm not allowed to show my real account right now, but I do have an order placed that, oh, nice, it just got filled. Anyway, we'll be back. So, how's everybody's trading week? Today was a serious pain in my little but yesterday and the day before and the day before that, pretty awesome. Just goes to show that you gotta be a nice, relaxed, chill psychopath to trade your rules properly. Can everybody hear me okay? Chris, thank you for asking if there's audio. I just want to make sure before we keep going. Everything looks like it's good. Yes? Okay, sweet. Thank you, Chris. Welcome, everybody. Who do we have here? Nice. All right. Yeah. Good to see everybody. So as I was taking my dog walk, I had this one last trade, which was like a trade that I really did not want to enter. It was a serious pain this day with the signals that I have laid out. Obviously, one can find many ways to trade the day, but as I'm trying to stick with my system, at the end of the day here, I see this pattern 2 then turn into a pattern 4. It's like, oh my God, please don't make me think this much. And it punctures the low of the pattern 4 here. So first it was a 2, then it's a 4, then it punctures the low of the 4. Therefore, I have to short the pattern back to the pattern 2. And then I come up here and the HMA turns color right here. And I have to enter on, what bar was it? I remember really not wanting to do it. This bar. Oh yeah, get in here. Just like all the other idiots. I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to be one of those idiots today. And that's where I got in because that's what my system said. And to do that, there's certain mechanisms that I think have to be aligned in a human psyche. Like, my best judgment says, don't get in there, wait for a pullback. But the rules say, get in there, that's a pattern 4, and the HMA just turned white, and you're closing above your ATR stop. So, okay, so I'll get in because we never know what's going to happen next in the markets. And lo and behold, here's where I accessed my inner psychopath. As the price is coming back all the way back down, I enter here, and it comes down 77 ticks, right? I don't want to end the day like that. And it's all about, for me, it's all about not caring about losing money. I care more about following the system. Anybody else? I say that, but that's not always true. I noticed myself this week not following my rules and only caring or caring more about the money and having green days. And every day that I did that, had I just stuck to my rules and let the winner let the trade run its course, it would have been a substantially better day. So yeah, I don't know. It's a hard thing. It's a challenging thing, this whole game of trading. Where's that article? I'm pulling it up. Where is it? Financial traders share traits with psychopaths. Research finds. Research, that's kind of hard to say. Recent research suggests that not only are financial traders wired differently, but they have a lot in common with psychopaths. I mean, just look at them. We don't see this anymore in the pits, but I mean, it's still what's going on. It's just going on through wires now. There's all sorts of, oh, here, I wanted to show this. The definition of a psychopath. Psychopathy describes a set of personality traits and behaviors frequently associated with lack of emotional sensitivity and empathy, impulsiveness, superficial charm, and insensitivity to punishing consequences. So I don't want to be impulsive. I don't want to have superficial charm, but I would love, as a trader, I would love to access a lack of emotional sensitivity and empathy, and especially an insensitivity to punishing consequences. This seems like the main one here. Like, oh yeah, the trade's running against me. I don't care. Or we're gonna lose $1,000 on the trade. I don't care. Whatever. It's just money. Did I follow my rules so I don't have to beat myself up later? That's what matters. So I'm gonna continue to work on accessing the best parts of my inner psychopath. Well, what are 12 signs? It's like, I don't want all these, but I would love to have shallow emotions while I'm trading. I would love to show no remorse for entering a trade that goes with my rules and then getting stopped out. I don't care. Rationalizes wrongdoings. Yeah, psychopaths get a bad rap, but there's good things about the psychopaths. Come on. What triggers? Oh, geez, we could go down serious rabbit holes. Serious rabbit holes. But we're talking about this here. Today was not the most fun. I probably should have stopped right after this first win here. That's probably where I should have stopped. But I was doing this weird scalpy thing. Does anybody ever get into that? Where you think you're gonna follow your rules? And this was like, I don't know. It just started happening. So I got to constantly check myself. Yes, thank you, Jim. The orange line, this one, that is the ATR stop on Square. So it's you can find it right here on the NinjaTrader ecosystem. I'll post a link. I'm going to post a link to it in the chat because it's really cool. I really like this indicator. If I can get it to pull up here, might be here. Here, hold on. Let me get this out of the way. It is. Oh, dang it. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't have it up still. It's kind of hard to find. Jim, you can send me, or anybody who wants this ATR thing, just send me an email and I'll send you the zip file. Jacob@backtothefuturetrading.com. And then, or here, I'll show you the settings because that does matter to make it look cool, like this square line here. Right here, ATR trail stop. So if you just set your plot style to square, it makes it really easy to see where your stop would be, and really easy to back test too. So check it out. If we don't have it as square, as horizontal line, or not horizontal line, that's obviously not going to work. Regular line is what I meant. Like that, just, I don't know, that looks stupid to me. As a trail stop, no. So we'll do dash, and then we'll do square. And then I have mine set on a period 7 and then a multiple of 1.1. Excuse me, for the NASDAQ 5-minute. So what are we doing here? Anybody out there on the webinar right now that doesn't have the software yet? Anybody just taking a look-see for the first time? Can you raise your hand so I know who is here and doesn't have the software? Oh, thank you, Matthew. Welcome. And Douglas. Nice. Doug, I think you just sent me an email and I think I responded, and Dave's gonna, maybe Dave's already talking to you, so that's good. I hear you're gonna come on board with us, Doug. Welcome. Welcome to the party. Okay, I'm gonna do my two deep breaths real quick before we get into it. I think my preamble is somewhat complete now. If everybody want to do a deep breath with me, that'd be cool. I'm doing it now, starting now. All right. Oh, It's crazy how much of a difference that makes. So let's, Matthew, have you seen any webinars at all yet? Is this your first one? Have you seen any videos? You have any idea what you're looking at here? You have any idea what these mean? The heck are these dots? Turn trader off. I would just like to reiterate one more time how I really, really, really did not want to get into this trade, but I got into it anyway and hit target and then closed, which I really did not want to close right there. I was like, oh, I could probably keep riding it to like 4:30, market like officially shuts you out and whatnot at 4:40 East Coast. I believe it's 4:40. But this was a pattern 5. So even though I didn't want to get into this one and I didn't want to get out, but it doesn't matter what, oops, we're actually down here. It doesn't matter what I want. I don't want to make decisions. I want to just follow the rules. And I caught myself this week making decisions. There's not, the only decision is to push the button or not in accordance with the rules. So yes, okay, all right, awesome, Matthew. 2 videos, still learning. Okay, did you have any particular, I don't know, I like to do webinars somewhat differently every time. Did you have any questions in particular that I can help you with? I mean, it'll probably help some other people too, because this will be recorded on YouTube. Or it's getting recorded now, it'll be posted on YouTube. Probably late tonight or tomorrow by the latest. I'll just go over it real quick. Oh, check out this new, before I do, check out this new risk reward tool I got. I know how you all like my risk reward tools. Here's the one that I had before, that I made myself, which is just a Fibonacci retracement. But there's no way to get the amount of ticks with the Fibonacci retracement. There's no way to get the ticks and the entry point and the stop loss ticks and all that stuff. But somebody made this one. I found it on the NinjaTrader ecosystem. It's really fun to just search around on there for free stuff. Somebody made this one and I was like, that looks like the best one. Downloaded it and then adjusted the settings a little bit to get the shading. But what's really cool is you can see without having to do any measurements, this is a 91 tick first target, 182 tick second target, and your stop loss is 91 ticks. And then you can also, I can post a link to this in the chat. You can go into settings and change ticks to currency. So you can know exactly what you're risking on each trade. All real straightforward. I'm not sure if you can see it. So $45.50 for target 1 with 1 micro. Target 2 is $91 with 1 micro. And obviously if we switch this to the NQ, it would be $910, $450. You still have to multiply it by however many contracts you're using, but it's nice not to have to do the math. I think it's pretty cool. And then you can just, I'm not totally used to it yet. So you don't have to extend the lines all the way right. You can add a third target if you want. You can just go in and add 300%. Change the color. I don't know, happy spring green, apply. And now you got a target 3 up there. I find it fascinating that NinjaTrader doesn't automatically come with this. NinjaTrader, it comes with this. Such a piece of junk. Well, it's not, I mean, I don't know. I need more than 1 target. Where is it? I never use it. Risk reward. There it is. That's it. It's not as fun. It's just not as fun. So I trade with 3 positions. 1 runner and a target 1 and a target 2. So let me explain these dots real quick. So by default, 7 o'clock dots are selling pressure times time windows. It's a time window. So from historically, from 7 o'clock p.m. to 7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there has been, historically, there has been selling action. So we have maybe made new lows or something to that effect. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen again 100%, but historically, the TachEon TimeWarp, which is what we're talking about here, goes back and looks for periods in time where price increases or decreases to such a degree that the algorithm of TachEon TimeWarp, this software, determines that it's warranted to predict that that might happen again. Maybe it happened a few times over the last 30 days at this time. So it'll plot this out here into the future. There's been some really, yesterday and the day before, some really cool, so super obvious moves at these dots. So 7 o'clock is historically a selling time. And then from 7:50 to 8:10 is historically a buying time. So I'll just change this color real quick. I like to think of them as windows, not as definitive times. Time periods is what I like to look at them as. And now we have, and it just oscillates back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's never blue, blue or white, white, white. Oops. I need this one. And some are longer, some are shorter. I could have known that this day was going to be not quite as amazing as the previous day because of how close together some of these signals are. And that's not saying that I want to change my rules just because the signals are closer together, but I just don't want to delete all those other things. You can see how close together the 935 to the 955, and there's only a couple bars to the 1005. Just that alone right there can give you a little warning. And then there was this really quick gap from 210 to 215. So, sometimes the market will rise up and at 7 o'clock, it'll just shoot right down. It's crazy how it does happen. Then sometimes you'll see the price move up into a white dot. Well, if it's already moved up into a white dot, which is a buying time, the start of a buying window, then we can actually get an inversion of that white dot. So we call white dots initially pattern ones. I'll just say P1. And we call blue dots initially as a foundation pattern twos. If we make a brand new high, so let's say that the price came all the way up here and superseded this previous high. Well, then we're thinking, well, geez, maybe the banks made their move early because these are institutional. I mean, they're big players that are making these moves. So maybe the big players at 750 this time, maybe they're actually going to short because it's tricky. It's a tricky world of trading psychopaths out there. So instead of a P1, we're actually going to call this, if it breaks the most recent high, we're going to call that a pattern 5, which is the another its sister or brother in the pattern world. Oops. P5. And then so pattern 1s and pattern 5s are related, pattern 2s and pattern 4s are related. The opposite of pattern 2 is a 4, the opposite of a 5 is a 1. And maybe I'll have the attention span to explain that in more detail later. We'll see what happens. Okay, what should we do now? Matthew, oh sweet, you do have questions. Curious to see in a scenario a range chart. Range charts are based on not on time whatsoever. So TachEon TimeWarp does not work on range charts. It will work on tick charts, Renko bars. So it's not a range necessarily, but tick charts are as close as we can get to a range chart and then still have times. Because we never know. We just never know how long any particular range is going to take to form. Does that make sense? It works on a range chart. It does? Let's try it. I've never heard that before. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try it. Maybe if you load minute data first. Nope. Oh, maybe I just need to add more data. I could have sworn I've heard Michael say it often, time and time again, that it doesn't work on range charts. You can overlap time and range. Yeah, it's kind of complicated. And oh, sweet. All right, Jim. Now I want to try it. I believe you. Let's make it 100 just so we don't crash the computer. Maybe it's because I just never added enough data. Let's see what happens. It's exciting. Yeah, maybe it's because I just never added enough data. And I've always heard Michael say that it doesn't work on range charts. Well, there it is. It totally works on range charts. Oh, it's a little weird though. Well, is that still just given the same times? Oh yeah, I guess if you, let me just clear all this stuff. I wonder if you have to load the minute data first, and that's maybe what I've never done. So like it's plotting, oh no, that's not at 313. Are you sure it doesn't just work in hindsight? I mean, how does it possibly know that range? Oh, I mean, I guess. Have you seen, Michael showed you? How am I just missing this now? I love range charts. What am I thinking that it doesn't work on then? Whoa, that's really, yeah, see, like look at this gummy nastiness here. What's that all about? This is why I haven't, well, let's reload historical data. That's crazy. I was always under the understanding that it only worked on time-based or something that could be quantified by time. That's still loading. Jim, you use 4 range bars on the ES then probably, right? 4 range and then you load 30 days worth of data? Seems like a lot. Look how long it's taken just to load the 100. Okay, yeah, maybe that's why, because I've never tried it on ES, because it looks really messy and nasty on the NASDAQ. Yeah, look, it's still loading. Strange. Oh no, now I'm like paranoid that. Oh, 15 days. 15 days oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, if you have a look back period of 714, then wow, and it really gets it down to the second like this? Hot damn. Let's check it out. Yeah, see, this is strange to me. Like that the open price line doesn't go, the stop's not there. Does it look like that on the ES? Let's look at the ES. Just regular ES. Should load faster. 100's ridiculously huge for the ES. Really? Wow. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. I wonder if it didn't always, but then some update came out that I didn't hear about or know about, and then it started to work. Whoa, fascinating. Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, this 151, you got a puncture trade here. So we had a white dot here, which means up, but we're not allowed to long there because our HMA is blue. yeah, the ATR is not in the right direction. Then our ATR flips here. We're in a selling window at 236, but then we puncture the stop line and close above right here. And that means we could technically enter a long position. So we would enter it like this, as far as my system goes, from stop loss to entry. And then that would be your two targets and your runner. Then we have another entry here. That's, yeah, that just seems strange. Do you use that as your entry chart, Jim? Maybe I should just make you presenter for a second. I just don't know if I trust this. But I mean, I trust Jim. I know you wouldn't steer me wrong. Yeah, pattern 5, retrace, pattern 2, it's consolidation keeps happening. Another pattern 5, more consolidation. Then we have a pattern 2, and it does indeed go down. Still goes down. Really quick pattern 1, then a blue dot pattern 2, perfectly in sync down, and then we're here at 1154. Oh, and then I ran out of. Oh, because we haven't formed another range on the ES. That's why. That's cool. Now I just want to mess around with this. Let's look. Let me look at the beginning of. Oh, okay, here's the beginning of the day. 100 range on the ES. That's pretty cool. I mean, why wouldn't it work? Now that I'm thinking about it, it doesn't make any sense for it not to work. Maybe it's volume chart that I'm thinking of. One of them it doesn't work on. Well, that's awesome. Dave, Dave's our sales guy. Dave, if you're listening and the next person that asks you if it works on range charts, you can say yes now. That's awesome. Really awesome. So what the software does is it goes back in time and it looks for historical swing points, in this case, on the range chart. Let's look at yesterday. I'm really curious about yesterday, if it's on here. October, oh wow, it's crazy with the ES how, because 100 points is 100 ticks is so huge. Oh, what were we even looking at? Oh, I don't even know what we were looking at. I'm so used to looking at the NASDAQ that I don't even know what day this was. Oh, this was the whole day. The whole day is just right here. Here's midnight. So if I switch my data series to 15, Jim said, okay. And then Jim said 4 range. Let's see what he's looking at. 4 range seems pretty good for ES. Swing 8. Oh, I calculated pretty fast. Now we're gonna have a more reasonable look at like our day here. Well, that's really detailed. 345. Let's look at the morning. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. I better just rewind like this. Right about there, looks good. Whoa, whoa. Here's 10 o'clock, 10:55. Does it really do it down to the seconds? Yeah, this weird little overlappy stuff. Like here, what I was talking about earlier. Here's one of those chop zones. I don't know if this was printed out perfectly like before these candles formed, though. That's the only thing I'd like to see. Oh, check this out. Oh, I don't have that market data loaded. No. So if we had played the open, what would have happened? Open on the ES, 9:30 East Coast. 4 tick range. Just curious to see if it got any of the chop right. 30, geez. There we go. So white HMA, we wouldn't be able to short this dot anyway. We would have to long this one, so that would have been a loss. But then we can try again. That would have been a winner. This is a pattern 5. And then we don't close above. It's kind of weird how they're not on the dots. But I guess you just get used to it. And that one wouldn't work. I bet you in the beginning of the day, though, you're going to want to use like a 10 range or a 15 range. That's what I would do if I was trading the ES, depending on the volatility. And then later in the day, in the afternoon, I would maybe use a 4 or a 5 or something. That's really cool. Okay, so let me do a little bit of the slideshow before I get too distracted. Well, it's already too late for that. Already very distracted. So anybody who's watching out there on YouTube later, what we're talking about here is TachEon TimeWarp. It's there's me and my dog. It's the only company online that gives the times and directions in advance, the trading rules in advance. I have some trading rules, and Michael and Ron have some, and yeah, there's plenty to go around. Then we let the times and the setups pass, and 2 days later, we can actually add up the results of the dots for pass or fail. So what that is that there's a set of emails that go out to thousands of people that are on the email list. Every Tuesday, they go out, the signals. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Oh, nice. So I don't know if it'll let me zoom in any farther. No. But there's the blue times and the white times. I'll zoom it in on the website here in a second. So those times for the signals go out on Tuesday, and then we can look at them on Wednesday, and then the webinar is today. So basically, it's like, hey, we're Michael and Ron, the owners of the company, like nobody's cheating anything. Nobody's moving the dots. Once they're there, they're there. If that makes any sense. Oops, I gotta get out of that. So the 12,000 lines of code, this is what I was mentioning earlier. It goes back and looks for these swing points, and then I'm thinking there's a little bit of a mystery to it. Proprietary trading software, professional grade stuff we're looking at here. So Michael and Ron aren't going to tell all the secrets on how it works, but my guess is that it looks for times such as these windows, and then where they overlap, and then must be some kind of algorithm that projects those times out in the future based on how many overlaps there are on certain swing definitions and etc. Hopefully everybody's read at least one of these new Market Wizard books. So there is the signal, and then there's the setup. So we were looking at the signal. So these are the signals. That doesn't necessarily mean, I'm gonna switch back to a minute chart. Let's look at the ES5. Oh, it's not gonna let me because I need to add data. If you ever get that an error message when you're reloading, just go into your data series and add 30 days of data. There we go. So these are the signals, these are the windows. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna immediately go long on a white dot or immediately short a blue dot. These are the signals, and then there's the setup. So like where I was discussing earlier, for instance. Well, here's a really good example. I wish I would have traded the ES today. Seemed a lot easier. So at 11:35 here is a buy dot. I guess technically, we're not going to use patterns. So if we're not using patterns, I have a way that we can trade this if we're using patterns. So buy dot. So you don't have to use the patterns, the 1, 2, and the 4, 5s. You can just do the dot to dot, and you'll still come out with a pretty darn nice edge, especially if you incorporate an EMA or an HMA or something to that effect. So my setup, just trading dot to dot at 11:35, you would go long market order at the close of this 11:35 candle, and then we would have 2 targets and 1 runner. So we would enter here target 1. As soon as that target's hit, we have 3 stop losses down here, right? And you set that up in your chart trader under ATMs. And I have my ATMs set up like this for the NASDAQ. So I start with 3, then you have your target 1, 2, and 3. It's just somewhere to start the stop loss. It's not going to stay there. And somewhere to get started with the profit targets. They're not going to stay there. But once you click buy or sell, all those orders will appear on the chart, and then you just drag them in to where they need to be. So say these are the orders, the targets, and they're initially placed like this. Well, once you have your targets placed, then you just drag your order into T1, drag your order into T2, and then just get your runner out of the way. So right here, we can see that target 1 is hit. So that's gone. That means we only have 2 stops left. Those stops will be moved to break even as soon as target 1 is hit. And then target 2 is hit here. And then we're going to attach our remaining stop to the ATR, to the actual ATR trail stop indicator. Here, this yellow line, this orange line. So we would have initially been here, then the next candle would have closed, and we would have been here and here and here, and then break even. And then as soon as this candle closes, our stop would be automatically moved up to here. Then this candle would close, we move our stop to here. Next candle would close, no difference. We have a slight uptick here, the stop would be moved there like this. And then we would close, so we had our target 2 here, and we close our remaining position right here at the blue dot. And then we just do the same exact thing for a short, but in the opposite direction, of course. And you can also set your stops to move to break even automatically too with the ATM strategy over here that comes with NinjaTrader, of course. Oftentimes, yes, Matthew. Multiple dots like that are real close together can equal some chop. Yes. Oh yeah, totally, Jim. Yeah, 100 tick range bar. Or yeah, that's a little much for the yes. It actually works pretty well on the NASDAQ though. Oh, I'm just looking at some questions. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's finish, do some more slideshow stuff. Oh, if I can get over there. Get back here. I've got that. And then the thing that I try to remember all day, every day, so that I stick with my rules, no matter what anybody says, no matter what I say, no matter what influences. My thing that I'm struggling with now is like influences. Not being influenced by what my brother says or what anybody that I'm working with says. Like, oh, we had a losing day today, so we better go reevaluate. Oh, okay. And then I end up changing my system, or I get paranoid about having a losing day, so then I want to start scalping so that I'm always in the green. It just doesn't end up working out. So there's a this is from Mark Douglas, the sensei, if you will, of trading psychology. There's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that defines an edge. This truth makes trading a probability or a numbers game. When you really believe that trading is simply a probability game, concepts like right and wrong or win and lose no longer have the same significance. As a result, your expectations will be in harmony with possibilities. Thank you, Mark. And then the 5 fundamental truths. I mean, that's why I entered that last trade to end on a winner that I was talking about, because I know that anything can happen. Even though that looked like a horrible place to get in, that's just the way it goes. Because you don't need to know. You don't actually need to know what's going to happen next in order to make money. You can have an idea and you can give yourself an edge because perhaps whatever you're trading, you've seen it happen. Have you back tested it? I don't know. Number 3, there is a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. And number 4, an edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. Number 5, every moment in the market is unique. And then we'll just go over the principles of consistency. Number 1, I objectively identify my edge. Number 2, I predefine the risk of every trade, and I try to look at every trade like a psychopath. Oh, that's not actually part of the. Number 3, I completely accept the risk, or I'm willing to let go of the trade. If I can't completely accept a 200 tick stop loss, or a 100 tick stop loss, or 50 or whatever it is, then I might as well just let go of it right then and there. Because if I take my profit early, or if I move my stop to break even early, I'm completely out of alignment with all of the work that I've done on my back tests. Number 4, I act on my edge without reservation or hesitation. And I really wanted to hesitate on that last trade, but I didn't. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. That's why I always need more than one position, because otherwise, I mean, I guess you could do it with one position by just trailing your stop. Number 6, I continually monitor my susceptibility for making errors. Number 7, I understand the absolute necessity of these principles of consistent success, and therefore I never violate them. That's the playing field that's stacked against us by the big banks, who they're the real psychopaths. There's all the penalties that they've accrued over however many years. That's only 336 trillion. Is that trillion? I can't even see it. Wow. And this hasn't even been updated. That's billion, right? Yeah, this is millions. That's billion. $336 billion. Wow. I bet you it's up to, who knows? Well, what's all this? Get out of there. Oh, somehow it just copied itself. So the big, what these dots are, is the big money leaving tracks in the sand, basically. Let me rewind here. I already know what the NASDAQ did yesterday. I want to check yesterday out on the ES. You can just click go to 1116, and then you can do 9:15. Oh, come on, really? You don't want to do that for me? AM. Da, 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 da. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Okay, let me just get an overview real quick. See this? See how this dot is really close to the 11 o'clock dot, Jim? There's no time to short this. Besides, it's power 4 anyway. Yeah, looks like yesterday was better on the NASDAQ. I feel like my attention span is already waning. Already getting distracted. Michael, can you bail me out? Michael, hello? Maybe I need more chocolate. I'm like, energy is waning. What are we doing? What do you guys want to do? I don't want to direct anymore. Somebody help me. What do you want to do? Hello, McFly? Bueller? I wish I could just turn somebody's microphone on just to mess with them. Like, Jim. How do I do it? Jim, I think you can talk. Can you try it just for fun? No, you don't even know. I don't even know if you have a microphone. It says muted. I don't know. I wish I could. It was easy, so people could actually, like, instead of just raising their hand, could actually use words and talk. No, I don't feel like looking at the damn ES. Every time I think I'm gonna like the ES, and I end up hating it. I want to show you yesterday and the NASDAQ. Is this yesterday? Cricky. Nuts in my chocolate. Is it? No. Oh, here we go. So pre-market, we had a puncture and we could have shorted the heck out of this thing all the way down to this pattern 4 retracement, another short. Then right at 11, it reverses. Huh, imagine that. Then right at 1150, blue dot, starts going down, consolidates, 1240. Let's see if it goes up. Oh, yes, it does. 1 o'clock. Let's see if it either consolidates or goes down. Consolidates, goes down. Oh, imagine that. 155. Let's see if it either consolidates or goes up. And if it goes down and punctures below this dotted line right here, we can actually short it. No, 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 no. Oh, did it? Oh, I guess it did. I guess we would have to get in there, even though I really wouldn't want to. And then you get stopped out immediately, right in line to have to be back in another trade. And then we end up going down drastically at, oh, so we did end up actually increasing price slightly there. But oftentimes that's what will happen, everybody. You'll have a white dot when your HMA or EMA is colored blue, or if you're using a 120 EMA, maybe your price action is below the EMA, whatever EMA you're using. If you get a white dot that's against the trend, however you want to define the trend, oftentimes you'll see a consolidation. And then once you come back in alignment with the trend, however you define that, then you'll see the move down. So 240, we are in a downtrend as identified by the 35 period HMA. And then we move down. And then at 335, market's getting ready to close here soon. Let's see if we go up at 335. Oh, imagine that. Like, what the heck? Seriously? It's like, I mean, let's just do dot to dot and see what we would have made. Let me put the regular stops back. I'm going to show you my settings too. Just the regular settings, the same settings that go out in the emails. We have signal dots only. I need to put this back to 1.5 like Michael always has it. Okay. And then for anybody who doesn't know, I'm going to show you how you find the times on the website. Where is it? So we're just going to have to. So you go to about live weekly webinars, and then TimeWarp projections. And then here you can find the times. So Tuesday, I'm not sure if it's morning or evening, next Tuesday at some point, they'll have posted new times for Wednesday and Thursday. And you just click on this little plus thing here, and then you can see all of the times throughout the trading day that the ES has been known to increase or decrease in these windows. You got the ES 3-minute, crude, 3 and 1, gold, some FDAX stuff, Dow, NASDAQ 1 minute, some FX stuff, well, FX futures technically. So yeah, that's how you do that. But you can see how it's not cheatable. Like there's no way to do that, to cheat it. So let's see. So just dot to dot. If was there a news event at 8:30? That's one thing I really need to back test. Is it worth, like, what are the rate, what's the win loss percentage, like what's the profit factor of trading those 8:30 a.m. news events on the 5-minute NASDAQ or 1 minute or whatever. So the market officially opens right here at 9:30. So if we're playing the market open directly, we would be in a short window. I know this is a white dot, but we're still going to use puncture trades. So this is a puncture south. So we would be here to here, And then we're only using the colors of the dots, no patterns. And we'd be from here. Oh, look, there's that blower, the blower every Thursday. Hold on a second. I'm gonna close that window. A little better. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so our HMA needs to be white to go long, right? And that happens here. And we need to be, our ATR needs to be flipped to the correct direction. This little orange arrow, I'm not sure if you can see that. That just means that the ATR flipped right there. Before the price action was underneath the ATR, at this point in time right here, the price action turned to the ATR is now below the price action. So that means we can enter. It's almost like I use the ATR almost like it's using two different EMAs, like an EMA crossover, except one's an ATR trail stop. So we would be in here, and then we'd be out here. We're not allowed to short this because our HMA is white. Don't care about closings above or below an HMA. They're too reactive to care. EMAs, yeah, go for it. Close below and above, that's fine. But for me, HMAs, no. At 1240, we're in alignment with a buy dot. We have a white HMA and the ATR is below the price action. So we would go long here and do 47. At 1 o'clock, we can't short because the HMA and the ATR are inappropriately aligned. Then we get this spinning top doji. No, 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 no. Here is where we need to short. It's another one of those shorts where it's like, I don't want to. That's too big of a candle. What if I need to retrace? Oh, well, that's not how I have my rules set up. So we would enter at the close of that candle, and then we get a small win. And at this 155 buy dot, no buying allowed because our HMA is blue. No trades allowed right here. So that saved us a little bit. And then here at this 240, we could short this. Yeah, we'll just have to short it. Even though our ATR is really close, we could just put our stop a few ticks above this wick. This is a very, very odd. It's really, really rare. I don't even know last time I saw this. You see how close that candle is to closing above that ATR stop? It's like not, I think it's like not even one tick. It might be one tick. It's 0 ticks. So the only way that I would know how to place my stop, and because I'm trying to use the ATR stop, right? So if I was going to short this, just to back up for a second, if I was going to long this to 1240, my entry would be the close of this candle, and my stop would go to where the ATR says, right here. But if I have a signal like this, where I have my blue HMA, and it's actually quite nice to get in on a white candle. So you're already getting your retracement on this candle. The only way I would know how to place my stop is in this situation is just above the wick. So let's see what happens. And then you would have gotten that. I do not believe we're stopped out there. No, not even close. Not even close. And then here, the next white dot. It's so relaxing just doing dot to dot. Oh my God. Like, so don't have to think. 335, not allowed to buy. Oh, here's where where we have to buy, right here. So we got a blue HMA, ATR flips here. So now we're allowed to think about buying on this candle, but our HMA is still blue. We need that to close white. It closes white there, and boy, oh boy, I don't want to get into that one either, because it looks like it's going to retrace and we're going to get stopped out. But I don't need to know what's going to happen next in order to make money, and I got to be willing to just take a loss. So we'll get in there. Our stop's going to go to here, and we get stopped out immediately on the next candle. But we're only using one position. Oh, we're after market hours. I didn't realize what just happened there. Wait. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, dang. Technically, yeah, that was the last. If we're ending at 4 o'clock, I mean, that would have been pretty dumb to take that with just one candle left. But even if we counted that as a loss, it would be a loss to this line here, like so. So yesterday's NASDAQ 5-minute was that, if you just went dot to dot. Yeah, Matthew, I've passed multiple evaluations with the NASDAQ micros with TachEon TimeWarp. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially a quantifiable system. If you're going to try for a prop firm account, though, it can get really, I'd recommend you not just going dot to dot, though, because the way that the stupid trailing drawdown works. Actually, you know what? Don't even worry about it. You can now, because somebody told me about this other company that's not Apex that is called Elite Trader Funding, that they don't have a trailing drawdown. It's just an end of day drawdown. So there's no penalization, penalties. I really don't like saying it like penalization, penalization, penalties. There are no penalties for unrealized, for not taking profits. So for non-realized profits. So at the end of the trading day, if with Elite Trader Funding, you whatever you have is what you have. So if you made 1,000, then you made 1,000. With Apex, and also there's accounts that you can get with Elite Trader Funding, where you do have to deal with the trailing drawdown. But yeah, I highly recommend not getting one of those. This here, I'll show you the one that I recommend getting. Oh, I thought I still had it up. Now I don't have any. There's no affiliation with me and Elite Trader Funding, no affiliation with Back to the Future Trading and Elite Trader Funding whatsoever, just so it's clear. Evaluations. So these one steps, where is it? So these are the ones that I would not recommend getting with TimeWarp. With other systems, like scalping systems, they'd probably be fine. But because with TimeWarp you can have, and with that runner, especially if you're just doing a simple dot to dot, like I was just explaining, you can get these giant winners that are, say, like 1,000 ticks or something, and then by the time the window's over, you might only be at 500 ticks. So with these accounts, you'll get penalized for that. That'll ratchet up your trailing drawdown, but not with these. I think it's these. Yes, this one. These right here. These end of day drawdowns. So if you lose $500 at the end of the day, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you made 5,000 and then lost 1,000 and you end up with 4,000. It doesn't affect your trailing drawdown at all. So yeah, these end of day drawdown evaluations. And then I would only recommend trading micros, no more than 2 micros per position. And there was a coupon, Halloween something, where you can get 50% off. There's got to be coupons around somewhere. But I would probably at least do this one. I would go for this one. Your max drawdown is 3,500. But then it gets a little tricky because then your daily loss limit's 2,200. So even though your max drawdown is 35, your daily loss, and you're trying to shoot for 6,000. So it'll take a while. You got to be patient, and you really have to just stick with it. I mean, it could take 10 days. I don't know what the. Oh yeah, and this is also something that I feel like is better than Apex. You only need to trade for 5 days instead of 10 with Apex. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, how about a calculator? Let's go calculate it. 216. And of course there'll be slippage and commissions with this. 873 ticks. Oh no, I'm sorry. I did 781 minus 92. Minus 92. 689 ticks. Make it even 600. That's a really good day. There's nothing wrong with 600 ticks. Nothing wrong with that at all. What was this? This was Wednesday? Let's see what we can do, because that was pretty fast. Let's go to, because I feel like there was some really cool stuff on Tuesday as well. Oh yeah, there's a news event here. This was, what was it? Does anybody remember? Oh, nice. Oh, nice. There you go, Matthew. 50K count, the non-trailing drawdown, the end of day drawdown, hopefully. Steve, I'd like to show you the forex pairs, but my brain would probably explode. So I don't even know. I would have to switch my data feed. I don't look at forex. I mean, we could try. I have no idea what I'm looking at though. At forex, I don't understand why anybody. No offense, but I don't understand why anybody would want to trade that stuff when you have perfectly good regular futures to trade. But you can. Let's see. I mean, I guess I could try. I think I have to switch my data feed to Kinetic, right? I don't know. I really honestly, I'm sorry. I just don't know how. Oh, that's good, Matt. Okay, great. Matthew. That was yesterday's PPI. Oh, thank you, Weston. Yes, that's right. Yep, I remember that. Right on time, 7:45. Bam. So this is what I want to start. Get a nice little log of is how often the warp signals work on these news event days, these red news events. I mean, we go up, and then when do we start coming down? Right at 9:05. Right at 9:05. Steve, do you? Oh, you just want to. Steve, do you don't have TimeWarp yet, Steve? Were you one of the people that raised their hand that said you don't have it yet? I guess I can try. What are the pairs? I don't even know what the pairs are. Like I literally don't even, like you can see I literally never look at them. Which one was one of them? Was it Euro USD, I think? Was one of them, right? Let's see if it works. Because my data, yeah, see? I think I have to switch. Let me see if Kinetic will work because it's like a shared connection here. One sec. No. Oh, I can do end of day free. Let's try that. Won't even let me reload historical data. I don't know squat about these things. Oh, I don't think it's gonna let me do any of them. I don't know, it gives me anxiety to even look at them. Oh, okay, Steve. Yes, support. And NinjaTrader is not working for you? Just like it's not working for me with the forex? There's like something special that I have to do. And I think I need Kinetic, and I don't have Kinetic available right now to connect to. So, oh shoot, now we just got rewound. Go to 15. Okay. Okay, so if you did trade that 745, I mean, what would that have been? 549, but you would have been lucky to get that. And then here our HMA turns blue, and this is the market open here. So you could have shorted that market open, close of the candle is here, stop goes there, stopped out, bastards. 1045, you would have entered there, stopped out, bastards. No cursing. I don't care. Here, if you wanted to try to re-enter again, I try not to do that though. No. And then no trade because the HMA, well, the ATR is not on the right side. And then our HMA turns blue. So no. And then here you enter short. Oh, damn, making up for some stuff here. I can't remember even how this day goes. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's what I wanted to show you. Oh, my God. That 110 drop. See, there's that white dot consolidation because we're against the trend, technically, as far as our two indicators are concerned. Also here against the trend. And then also here against the HMA color. So no trade there, no trade here, trade here. Let's see, no trade allowed here. Trade is allowed here. So that would be 205. If you're going to use the ATR stop, I always recommend putting your stop on the 5-minute chart at least 15 ticks below the ATR, at least. I wouldn't go more than 25. So 15 is usually good because the hunting does happen. Nope. Oh, so here you'd have to short there and then get stopped out, right? Yep. But a lot more chill of a stop out than if you would have had your stop way up here. Good luck with that. No trade. Oh, we're done. That's it. That's it. Geez, I think that, wait, oh, that's not a real. So if we're just doing dot to dot, this would have been a break-even day, it looks like. Kinda, sorta. Let's do the 439. Minus 145, minus 20, minus 124. Geez, still 355 ticks. That's right in alignment with what I shoot for, between 400 and whatever happens after the close of that, what happens to be that the last trade of the morning session, if necessary. That's pretty cool. So that's 355, and then this other day was like 800. So just in those 2 days, that's 800. Oh, 8, 9, 10, 11, sorry, 1100, even if we rounded that other one to 300. So 8, 9, 10, 11, so 1100. Tuesday and Wednesday. Oops. And then let's just do this last day here and see what would have happened. If we just went dot to dot, we might give back all our profits. I don't know, but we're not allowed to do anything at, well, I guess since I don't trade at 9:30, but if we were, then we would have got stopped out there. And then we're not allowed to trade here. Oh, here we would have had to enter, and then we would have been for that loss, but then we would have entered a long. Oh, no, we wouldn't have. We're not allowed to. Oh, yeah, we are. Oh, that's weird. This is dot to dot, no patterns. I wouldn't have taken this because it's a pattern 5. But then you're stopped out real quick right there. And then there's a puncture here, and I believe this one is despicable. Oh no, look at that, not too bad. Then we have a white dot, and stopped here. This is like today was a serious pain, and you'll have that. You will have that. Absolutely expect to not have every day being a winning day. That's just not possible. I mean, maybe it is, but it's not worth it. The way that I mean, eventually you'll get a losing day. So if we're doing dot to dot, then we would have actually taken this puncture And then we would have had to do this and stopped out. I think it's important to show days like this. No trade, it's pattern 5, but, and then we would have been stopped here. Short, 215, short, 230. Oh, wait a minute, what am I doing? Jeez. That's because it was such a tiny little window there. 235 short. Oh, that's it? Where's my data? What's the rest of my data? What the heck? Oh, because stinker. Hold on a sec. Continuum. Come on. Oh, it might be that time of day where they, oh no, there it is. I have to reload. That's just today. You best be having my dots on there. I mean, my tags on there. Oh, still loading. There we go. And then, oh, this is a cool one to show the beauty of this ATR trail. Oh, why? It just started loading again. That's crazy. Never does that. Just be done. Be done. Oh, because I have all these other charts over here. Forgot I had those open. There we go. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, no trade there. No trade. And no trade. And then here, sorting. Still no stop out. Here's where we would have actually been stopped out. I'll explain. So don't forget that we're at least 15 ticks higher than our ATR. And you can attach your stop loss to the ATR stop, of course. So we would start out with our stop here. So 62 tick risk. And then this candle closes. Then we have a 45 tick risk. Then the next candle, then the next candle, then the next candle. And then by the time this candle closes, we're at break even. And we've actually locked in like some commission profit, 5 ticks. Then this candle closes and we're here. Here, let's do it like this. Then we're here. Here. Doesn't move. And then we're stopped out right here. So that would be 154. And that would be the end of the day. Right? Yes. Yeah, because if we're not using patterns, then we wouldn't have cared about the pattern 4 or whatnot. So let's see what these 3 days would have done. Let's total up this nastiness. It might not be that nasty. We're still going to be in profit for 3 days. Can almost say for sure just by glancing. So it's 33 plus 49. Okay, minus 13, 77. What's that behind there? 49? 49. Minus 223. So 1100 minus 223. Minus 223. So 877 ticks. If you're trading regular NASDAQ, then that's $4,300, 833. If you're trading micros, that's $416. Hopefully you're using, 2-3 contracts. If you're using 5 micros, which is reasonable, that's $2,000 in 3 days. Even with one, these are actually pretty rare. Like, this is actually really nice to see. It's really important to see max losers in a row. If you don't know what your max losers are in a row are for your system, then you might want to end up changing things after, like, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is right at max losers in a row that I've seen on the 5-minute. On the 1 minute last week, we ran into, I think it was like 5 losers in a row. So, if you get 10 losers in a row, then, oh, geez, something's wrong. Something is wrong. and then you have this small winner, and then you have another loser, and then another loser, and then a winner, and then you finish with the winner. So yeah, if you're interested in the more detailed system, the more intricate system, I guess I should say, that I was kind of alluding to in the beginning of the webinar, just look at go check out last week's webinar, because I do a pretty good job of explaining it. Do you ever compare 1 minute versus 5 minute signals? Yeah, accidentally. I've done, yeah, it can be beneficial. I've found that it's best for me just to stick with one chart. As soon as I start adding anything in besides one chart, I can become unhinged. This is like literally all I want to look at. My best days, my best trading days, that I feel the best. So it's not all about how much money I make. It's about how I feel doing it, because it can ruin my whole day. Even if I win and I don't follow my rules or something, I can end up just screwed for the rest of the day, because my adrenal glands and my cortisol are like all whacked out. My cortisol levels like take like hours to come back to baseline. So the least distractions, the better. This is how I look at my charts every day, literally. That's all I want to see. Just like this. And I use slightly different colors on my candles, but oftentimes I'll use these two. But that's literally it. Oh, we weren't using the right punctures. Oh no, yeah, that we were. But these aren't the punctures that I use, and I also use patterns. So there you have it. I don't really have much more energy left this week. Let me show anybody if you want to buy the software. Well, first, before you even bother going to the website and buying and all that stuff, feel free to call Dave. He might be able to hook you up with like a package or something, or I don't know, some kind of special Dave discount, or I have no idea. But if it was me and I was on this webinar and I didn't have the software yet, I would definitely be calling Dave to say hi and seeing what can be done. If you don't want to call Dave and you want to pay the full retail, go for it. If you don't want to pay the full retail, then you can enter in the promo code, which is warp off. There it is, warp off. And you actually get 2 lifetime licenses, free updates. Somebody from Back to the Future will literally install the software for you if you need the help. Obviously, lots of videos on YouTube, and there's also like a in-house video archive training. There's a method to suit everyone to trade these signals. Let's see. I want to show something real quick. I think it might be helpful. Oh, yeah, let's see if I can do it without sharing his name. So I got this email yesterday, or like 2 days ago, like totally out of nowhere. I had no idea. I didn't ask for it. It just came. I thought it was really cool. I'm just gonna try to make it so you don't have to. Oh, here we go. Oh, sweet. Hey, Jacob, thoroughly enjoyed watching your webinars, in particular, seeing your most recent adaptation to your system. It's not to like toot my own horn. I just want to say that like there's a method to trade this for everyone. And maybe the method that I taught on last week's webinar, that's the way for you. I don't know, check it out. But it's working for this gentleman. I'm using your 3-position trade system and finally having regular winning days after 5 years of struggling with warp and blowing 3 counts to try to figure out the darn patterns. And I really like the ATR you showed recently. Can I please get a link to the blah, blah, yeah, hopefully I can figure out, blah, blah, blah. Whatever about all that. My favorite part is finally having regular winning days. So some people, they might resonate with the dot to dot. I can't. I didn't. It's too hard. Well, at least it was too hard for me to hold those trades that long and watch them come back against me. And over the last 2 years, I've been constantly tweaking and back testing to multiple different ideas of systems to try to get something that was more conducive to my personality. And every once in a while, I'll run across somebody who's conducive to their personality as well. So this isn't even this is not to toot my own horn. It's to toot the horn of Back to the Future, because anybody can design, not anybody, but like, it's the dots that matter. It's the times, it's those windows that matter. And that's why I paid for the software over 2 years ago, because I knew that it was the dots. I was like, I'll figure out my own way to trade it, or I can try to trade it their way. But it's the dots that matter. It's the patience that it gives me, especially on the 5-minute chart. Oh man, it lends itself to, I feel so much more relaxed on the 5-minute than I do on other time frames. I'm just gonna make sure there's no questions before we start getting wrapped up here. Shout out to Rachel's and awesome. Yes, thank you, Christopher. Rachel, she might be the one who installs the software for you. If anybody, I like to look at here, check out under the hood here real quick before we leave, so you can see the sheer amount of labor and work that it went into designing this ridiculously awesome piece of software. David is the main sales guy. David at backtothefuturetrading.com. He'll probably post his phone number. There it is. Dave's phone number, 727-742-2626. So what the software does is you can tell it to go look back on however many days. You can go tell it to look back 7 days, 14 days, 21, 30, whatever you want. You can also tell it to go look back on trading days. This isn't woo-woo, it's simply quantitative. It's analyzing historical data. And it takes 12,000 lines of code to do it. And it's taken Michael and Ron years of research to come up with this. And that's why this is not a free indicator. Not a free indicator. So you tell it where and to look back, and then you tell it how to look back. So it's looking for swings in the market that are a swing strength of 8, and it's a whole other thing trying to explain what swing 8 means. But and then you have the volatility stop offset. That's this dot and the dot price line. You can tell the software to look back over the last 7 bars and then give you the average true range of those past 7 bars, and then multiply it by 1.5 times or half times or 3 times, whatever you want, and that gives you your dot distance. And then you can change all the colors of obviously. You can tell it you can tell it to display the patterns or not. Here's what it looks like with the patterns displayed. You just uncheck that box, and then it'll tell you 5s and 4s and everything else. And you check it again and they go away. I recommend getting to know the patterns without the software holding your hand. And then you can go down here and you can tell it to use an HMA, SMA, EMA, weighted moving average, anything that's here. Obviously you can add anything on top of it. Yeah. And then it will automatically change the colors for you. So then you can have, multiple different templates. But this is my favorite. It's really clean. And I need things to be clean and zen so I can maintain my psychopathy and cold-hearted nature while I'm trading. That's the goal, at least. Does anybody have any questions before I start getting out of here? Here, let me show everybody how to buy the software real quick. It's part of my job. I'm just a customer, and I do these webinars for Michael from not every week, but lately most weeks it seems like. And I also do training for TachEon, TimeWarp, like private mentorship stuff. If anybody's interested in that, just shoot me an email, jacob@backtothefuturetrading.com, JACOB. And if you want to buy it, you don't have it, just go here, backtothefuturetrading.com. And then product store. This is the flagship product. It's the one that sells the most. I recommend everybody start with this. I mean, technically it's all you, it's, yeah, just warp. That's what you want. And then just scroll all the way down. You can feel free to read Michael's explanations of everything. I mean, he is the inventor, of course, him and Ron. And then click the buy now. You also, by the way, there's financing now available. This is new. Oh, look at this. I didn't notice this last time. 4 interest-free payments over 6 weeks. Oh, that's sweet. They didn't have that when I bought the software. I just did this. I didn't even watch a webinar or like ask questions or have a one-on-one meeting or anything. I just was like, I just watched like, I don't know, 2-3 hours worth of various videos. And I was like, good enough for me. I need something to help me be patient and tell me when I can and cannot trade. And I click the buy now button. Then you can also sign up for Ron's Pro Training Room, trading room, where Tuesdays, Wednesday, and Thursdays, they trade the live markets. But if you don't want to do that, if you do, there's a discount. If you don't, then just click buy now. Oh, I think that's actually going to add. So here's the Pro Training Room. If you don't want that, then you just remove. And then the blah blahs. And then here's where you enter your code for, should be 500 bucks off. Yep, so you get the price under 2K there. And you know, if you follow your rules, you'll be able to make that money back. And yeah, if anybody has any other questions, let me know now. Or forever hold your peace, because I am fading out. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Just to reiterate one more time, if you want more detail on the system that I pretty much trade every day, just go look at the webinar I did last week. And if you want to trade patterns with it, I feel like it works better with the 5-minute. There's a couple of nuances that I didn't explain on the webinar, but I mean, for the most part, it's, yeah, just look at last week's webinar. All right, everybody. Thank you. Excellent. Okay, sweet. Yeah, Weston, do it. Send me an email to jacob@backtofuturetrading.com. All right, well, I'm gonna sign out here and go take a nap. That's what I'm gonna do, for real. And remember, my Bob Ross, my manipulated Bob Ross trading quote. And remember, there are no mistakes in trading, only happy accidents. Signing out. We'll see you guys next week.